I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where we break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. And there's not many goals scored today against Tottenham and Manchester United. But I'm going to point out a lot of things in this game that are just, it's awful football. And when you see it, you're not going to unsee it. So let me go through and explain a lot of coaching points for you, and hopefully you can learn something, take it away from this video to be a better player or a better coach. Now, there's a through ball that's played through here for Rasmus, and I want you to watch these players here, okay? So just take a little mental picture of where all these players are, and I'm going to move it forward and just show you a clip of what they end up doing in about a second or two, because they're all running towards the ball. Now look at them, okay? Not one of these Man United players decided just to stay wide and be an option to get an easy goal. No idea whatsoever. Just ran towards the ball. Every Tottenham player ran towards the ball. Well, because every Man United player ran towards the ball. And it just closed that area down. You saw how spread out they were. Everyone was all over the place, which was fine because you know what? It's a through ball and that's fair. But as an attacking team, your job is to open up the space, right? That's what you want to do. Not help the defenders by running towards the ball and putting pressure on the ball. All this guy had to do here is just stay wide, receive the pass, and he's got himself an easy goal. It's that simple, but this is beyond them. I'm going to show you mistakes that United players make repeatedly, and this is just the highlights. This isn't like me going through the game. This is just me looking at the highlights and seeing problems that the players do repeatedly over and over again. Okay, so let's just move it on. Actually, we're not going to, because this is very important. This is a key moment right here. So if they did actually do what I want you to do is stay out wide, hold your shape, because you cannot pass the ball if you do not hold your shape. It's that simple, right? If you're here where I wanted you, whoever this United terrible football player is right here, when this shot comes in, it's a terrible shot, the keeper kind of flick saves it. Doesn't clear it really, and then it gets secondary cleared by a defender. The reason why this is important is because Tottenham scored a goal because their team was in a bit of space. When their Anana saved it, it bounced out, and they were there to finish it up and just scored a goal. No United players close enough to follow up this shot or score the goal, or in a position to, because he didn't hold his shape, just out here, just a little bit. So when this flick comes out here, bang, he'd be running in, and he'd be on the point to challenge for the ball there, because he would have been following the shot in. Not even close to it, not even interested. No one even knows. It's way beyond their pay grade. This time we'll move it on. Okay, this is all still part of the same movement. The ball's been cleared and it's come back, but I want you to watch this right here. Two players, because they make the exact same mistake later on. They do the exact same thing. Both players, watch, ball's played, bang, stood on each other in the same place, same area, doing what? You can't pull the team apart if you've got two players and you're attacking in the same area doing the same job. And you're going to go, oh, it's coincidence. It's not. No, it's not coincidence, because if it happens again, then it's a repeated problem. And bearing in mind, I've only got about 2 minutes, 30 seconds of clips here. I don't have that much, footage to go through. If I went through the whole game, I would probably find that this is happening all the time with these two clowns. It's just terrible. Now what you've done is you've stopped your options. What does that mean? As soon as I think it's Garnacho gets the ball, all he's going to do is run in to shoot inside, because doesn't know really how to play football. Has no interest, absolutely no interest of combining with this United player at all. Just wants to get the ball, turn, and run straight in there. No, shouldn't be doing that. Should actually just be laying it off. Let him get wide. Let him create something and see what we can do putting a ball in behind. Coming up to the 18-yard box and getting a goal and scoring it like that means you're scoring, on average, above 15 goals a season. If you're a player that's getting above 15 goals a season, that's acceptable, because you know what? It's a good percentage chance that you're going to score a goal. If you're not doing that and you're not getting above 15 goals, you shouldn't be taking that opportunity. You should be laying that off, trying to keep the momentum building and trying to get a ball across to feed your strikers, because now there's two of them in the box. Bad decision making. Is it bad decision making, or is it just bad football players? I think it's bad football players. And right here you can see a huge difference. Player, people filling the middle. I know obviously the other one was on transition, but it doesn't really matter, because the second phase of play there wasn't on transition. It was them building up to attack again. And you can see where they're all heading and what their jobs and roles and responsibilities are, because they're actually quite consistent, and United's aren't. So when this ball comes in, it's a lofty ball to the back post, and inside the 18-yard box, you decide not to mark Son. He's a bit good. He's not great. He's off form. He's not anywhere near the level he was, but he's still a bit good. You might want to actually put a player anywhere near him. You can't have 1, 2, 3 along here and still not be marking him. He needs to be pushing over, and he needs to be pushing over here. He needs to basically leave this guy right here and just come and mark him and force this one of these 3 centre-backs to come and mark in the middle here. He should not be getting involved with this here. But again, it's decision-making. And I don't think... and a lot of things you can't really end up coaching. So what happens is this, is people go, there's a certain age where decision-making is already ingrained and you cannot out-coach it. So what that means is they've done this decision for 15 years of playing football, and this is the way it is, and this is what they do. To try to to coach that sort of characteristic or technique or whatever the behavioural habit is out of what that player is doing is virtually impossible. Okay? That's why certain players don't get picked up. They go, oh yeah, but he's really, really good. Yeah, but he's got one problem, and that problem we can't coach because he always does the same problem, and he won't change it. What's that guy for Fulham? What's his name? Toure, fast striker, I think. I can't remember his name. You'll know, everybody will be yelling at me and you'll know who it is. Just super quick, beats you, but can't put it across and can't shoot. Can't fix it. Was at Barcelona. It's got all the way through. No one can't fix it. Positional skills like this, very difficult to fix because they're playing a system that they are not comfortable with. They just don't understand it. Here's the ball dropping and they've suddenly realised their mistake. And also, it's not just because they don't understand it. It's because they're bad footballers. A lot of good footballers that go through systems, they're open to so many more ideas because they don't have ingrained bad habits. This is how I defend. This is the only way I can defend. Carl Walker, for instance. He only can defend if it's a fast breakaway. If it's actual proper defending positionally wise, doesn't have a clue because he can only use his pace to do the job. And when he doesn't have that anymore, he gets exposed like he has pretty much the first half of the season. Now he's run away, so you can't see him being exposed at AC Milan. But now that the ball comes across, bump, good. It's just a hit. Just hit it. See what happens. Not bad. But look at the second phase right here, the second ball that you want to pick up. Not a single United player. And remember, these 3 weren't marking anybody. Now are not in a position to actually do anything with a player, Tottenham player, I think it's Richarlison, receiving the ball inside the box. He gets to have a touch inside the box, unpressured. Now there's some coming from Bruno Fernandes. It gets a shot off. It's a terrible shot because it's Richarlison, I think. But there you go. I think it's Richarlison. It's got a stupid hair, funny coloured hair, so I'm just assuming it's him. But also, this is the other difference. That shot comes in. Look at the body language of every player from this freeze frame here, right? Shot's gone in. Static, 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 static. No one is anticipating the rebound except for James Maddison. Oh, look at his body shape. You can see he's already following it in. Not one of these defenders, because they're out of phase of what's happening with the game, right? So because they weren't marking that guy on their back post, he was able to put the crossover. Because of that, they dropped. And now they drop while the ball's gone. Now they've got to come forward. No one is actually in phase defending properly. They're all kind of doing the wrong thing and then trying to cover up the mistake that they made with another mistake and going, so they can't actually react to anything because they're just constantly covering up the mistakes of their positional play all of the time. So when the keeper here makes a howler, which this is, he should just be easily catching that. Easily catching that. It's bouncing. It's not very good. It's not a hard shot. You're playing for Man United. You should be catching that. Maddison just follows it up and gets himself a goal. And that's pretty much the game. But I still want to show you some of these other United things where they were doing the things I was showing you a minute ago. Garnacho and Matey Boy on that far side. Going to show you a couple of more poor touches here. Watch when he receives this ball. Okay? He doesn't want to go anywhere. That's his space. Right? He's going to receive the ball and then he's going to try to get a shot off. Is he? Receives the ball and he really wants to put it across and get an easy tap in. Because, right, the scoring funnel, don't know if you know this, with all my bazillion years of coaching, they never really talk about it anymore because they don't really understand it. That's the scoring funnel. That's the areas in which you want to shoot. Inside this area here. This area here is the crossing area. This is the shooting area. That's kind of how you want to think about it. Why? Because this is in front of the goal, and this is not. Unless you're, Mo Salah or Kylian Mbappe or Vinicius Jr., you don't shoot in this area here. What you look to do is get the cross over. Okay? That's what you look to do. So when he receives this ball, look at this first touch. He's inside the scoring funnel. But are you really happy with that? First off, the ball isn't very good. There's no pace on it, right? So he can't really actually try to drive himself a little bit wider, which he really wants to do. He really wants to get just about here because he's got so much space. And you go, yeah, but Cash, he's right in front of the scoring funnel. Look, if you draw the line really good. I did draw it really good. He's right there. Yeah, but it's not effective. It's not as effective if he just comes to here and lays it across so his teammate is on the back post waiting to tap it in. He's got one thing in his mind and one thing only. I'm going to smash it at the keeper. And the keeper knows this. Everybody knows this. He knows this. So as he comes in to pressure the ball, boom. If he just puts his foot on it there, he could probably pass it into the goal himself. But he doesn't have any football IQ. It's, I've got the ball, I'm going to run in and smash it at the goal as hard as I can. Just like he did a minute ago. I'm just going to back up what I was saying about the scoring funnel here. And when if you're in this area, you're perfect because this is where you set your teammates up to have shots on goal. This is where you're looking to get to. Man City do it all the time. That's what the area you're looking to get into. Here's the ball, boom, looking to get a shot off, trying to get a shot on target, going to get a goal. Not a great shot, but that's just an example. When you're in that area, you can get yourself a really decent chance. And if you're in sort of that no man's, especially with so much space, you take this because it's so much clearer for you to get the ball across and score a goal. I think this is Garnacho again. I'm going to rip him apart today. But look at this pass. Great on the run. Gets to go. Watch his touch. This is so poor. Watch. Boomf. Look how far that touch is away from him. That means you can't do anything. Because your next thing is you've got to take 4 steps to get there. And so's he. Instead of you being in control and being able to dictate the play, and you can't quite see it, but I'm going to move it forward just a little bit. Do you see this little guy over here? All he has to do is put that ball across. Do we see? There he is. But because of his poor touch, he doesn't have any options. He cannot do anything other than smash the ball at the goalkeeper again. Because his touch was poor, which puts him in a really bad situation to do anything. And it's just easier for them to defend. He doesn't give himself any opportunities to do anything. Because he's bad with his little first... I mean, it's pathetic. It's so bad at this level. And whoever this poor guy is out here is like, the reason why I run in the middle and I don't stay out here, Cash, is because when I do, they don't pass it over to me to get a real tap in easy anyway. But yeah. Okay, these are these two again. Let's see if I can play this for a little bit longer because, you know, I can't really play it for too long. Obvious reasons. I want you to watch their body movement and watch their shape. Right? Watch. 1, 2, 3. Donk. They both even stop and jink back at the same time. You can't have those two players on the same side of the field because they're just doing the same role and both are oblivious. Either one doesn't want to play with the other or they're just getting in each other's way. So you might as well just have one player there because, yeah, it's useless. They're so unaware when the ball comes down, they're tackling each other for it, and there goes the opportunity to score a goal. If they were aware, one would have held, one would have got the ball, he would have passed to him, he would have gone, found a striker, and they would have got themselves a goal. Yeah, it's that bad. I mean, but it also is that simple. You can fix all... Okay, I would fix this in 20 minutes. Honestly, if I had these two by the scruff of the air, I'd fix them in 20 minutes. I might not be allowed to coach football again because some of their cars in the car park might have accidentally caught fire. But you know what? I would have their attention and they would be doing exactly what I want them to do on the football field. But then, guess what he's going to do? Turn and smash it at the goalkeeper as hard as he can. Like, this is just terrible football. Like, if... at any level, just gets the ball, head down, no attention to do anything else, just smash it at the keeper again and see what happens. Oh, guess what? You don't score again. I don't know if you've ever played like against a really world-class goalkeeper. I have. I played against loads of them. Stand there and you try to shoot at them, right? They're gonna save it. That's why you go to the half space, you cut it back and try to engineer goals because goalkeepers are absolutely fantastic. They are. Like, especially at this level. They're brilliant. They're really difficult to score against. So you've got to have something where he isn't seeing you, eyeing it up, getting ready to get down and get the save and save the shot. It's too easy for him. And you might go, oh yeah, it's gone out for a corner, but he loves it. He loves waiting for that dive, waiting for that save. Brilliant. other than that, I'm not going to go rant on too much about Man United, but I am going to do a Gary Neville rant. Again, I did one about a year and a half ago, because I heard him talking some rubbish on the commentary. And I think it's about time everyone starts calling out the fact that he doesn't really say anything. And it's not about saying something negative. I think negativity is the wrong sort of thing. It's about saying what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And what's wrong is Gary Neville is probably going to earn a good 15 million quid from the rejuvenation around Manchester United's stadium. So he's not really bothered about talking honestly about the ownership and the ownership structure. And when Manchester United are in dire need of reinforcements, especially in the transfer window with moving on the likes of the deadwood of Rashford, which is brilliant, and a couple of injuries, they're not getting any loan deals, or to me it's insane. And the fact that it doesn't get called out is because, well, people are profiting from the Glazers in time to come, so they've got to keep their mouth shut and they've got to keep stum. So I think we all need to call that out. And other than that, see you next time on Cash Talks Football.